What's going on, everybody? This is Rick from Studio Spades, and today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful reveal animation for a 3D model. In this case, I'm using a car model, as you can see, which I got off Turbo Squid, but you can basically use any type of a model that is made out of multiple meshes. So in this case, I want to make sure that I put the model in a collection and deselect the floor. I've also added the floor to the scene. But basically, it's quite a simple scene: a floor, HDRI, and a car model. But it's shiny, so it looks cool. You also want to make sure that everything has an origin point in the center of the object. So all your meshes need to have an origin point. These orange dots you see here on the model by selecting all your meshes. If you see a lot of dots in the center, then you're probably good to go in the center of the mesh. Okay. Well, let's start off by adding an Explorer tool, of course, and with everything still selected, press M, new collection, Explorer tool, or something like that. Make sure it's centered to the world origin, and you can see the linear fall-offs being rendered here. We don't need to see those. Maybe the quickest way is to switch to Eevee, apparently so. Make sure your fall-offs are not being rendered, especially the linear fall-off, which is it consists of two planes. Okay, so a reveal animation. How do we make that? Well, let's go into Explorer tool first and hide the car as well. And then we can load the car back into Explorer tool this way. You can pin the window so it won't disappear. And now the car is shown back in the scene again. And now we can start processing it. So under the explode command, we can work with the instances of these meshes. So using these would be quite fast. You can change the position, and you can see that took a while. Now, why is it not fast? Well, you can always disable some of the Explorer tool effects under performance settings here. That should speed up everything. Let's press play. The frame rate seems to be 24. Now if we move things, it only drops down to 16 tops, which is still quite workable for a model like this. Now, how to make it appear? Well, we can try working with the scale, for example. So let's see what happens if we put a fall off on the scale, the linear fall off, which is this object right here. And I'm gonna quickly turn off the view of the HDRI. Give me a minute. Okay, this is much better to look at. We finally have some contrast here in the scene. So when you move the linear fall off, things appear or disappear, and fall off end can influence how big that transition has to be from appearing to disappearing, or vice versa. Pretty cool. But it's all a bit too linear for me. It looks pretty nice, but maybe we can make the animation a bit more interesting. So let's go to Explorer tool and pin the window again. So maybe we can do something with the linear fall off clamp, which is under fall off linear. Oh, and maybe change the clamp here, which what it basically does is influence the way the linear field is being processed and apply a specific curve to it, so we can make things more snappy and just more attractive to look at from a motion design standpoint. See, this is a lot smoother than without, because I can disable it again. I mean, technically this is linear, so it should be smoothest, but it doesn't look as appealing as using an S-curve, which has a more snappy and whippy feeling to it. I personally like that. And we have a couple of curves. We can also do it in steps. Maybe this will demonstrate a bit more easily what I mean, because the steps do it quantized, as you can see. Also a pretty cool effect. But I like the smooth curves, the whip effect scales up and down and vice versa. So there's this more elastic feel to it. Could be nice as well. And there are a couple of variations of these curves. And I will make more of these in the future. And you will also be able to make your own in the future. But I will have to figure out a way to implement this nicely. But yeah, I like the S-curve here. And we can also maybe add a little rotation to make it a bit more interesting. Oh, I'm scrolling in the wrong section. I'm sorry. Rotate all. No, I need to have rotate instances. So maybe do a 180 here. Turn off a loop. And also have that be influenced by the linear falloff. Only in this case, we see that it ends upside down. Now, to fix that, we can simply use linear falloff inverted. Boom. Then you make sure that everything is aligned the correct way. And the turning of the car is now also being influenced by the falloff. Pretty cool effect. You can stack these effects this way and connect them to the same falloff, or inverted falloff in this case, to keep things looking homogeneous, if that's the right word for it. Maybe I can demonstrate it by moving it up a bit. Linear falloff again. Now again, we see that it goes up in this case, but I want it to go down to the ground level. So for that, we need to do an inverted again. And then you see it reveal from above and go down to the ground. Pretty cool, right? And this works on all these parameters. You can attach the linear falloff or other forms of falloffs and combine different ones. But yeah, this should really help you get started with the falloff system. Try working with it. It can really improve your motion design work. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And this was another short tutorial for the new Blender Exploder Tool 2.18, which is out now on Blender Market. So yeah, you can purchase it there or get the free update if you already own Exploder Tool. I hope you enjoyed this video and take care.